1939. It is exactly 12 o'clock as the flag is hoisted to denote the opening of festivities. The carnival runs from midday to midnight, and as you see by the floral clock, the time is a few minutes past the hour as the pageantry gets underway in the world's biggest railway festival. Timing is always important in any railway event, and according to the program, the retiring Queen, Miss Greta Richards, is due to arrive at 12:15 p.m. And here she is exactly to the minute. She is accompanied by the Railway Queen-elect, of whom we shall see more later, and led by Pipe Major McGregor of the Edinburgh Railwaymen's Pipe Band. Greta is showing that smile which endeared her to all with whom she came into contact during her term of office. Next to arrive is the Right Honourable Alfred Barnes, MP, His Majesty's Minister of Transport. With him are the Lord Mayor and Lady Mayoress of Manchester, who are to preside over the day's proceedings. With regal handshakes and mayoral greetings, the presentations take place. Although Greta has been called upon during her term of office to perform endless public functions, she has always maintained the dignity with which the position of Railway Queen has become associated. The presentations over, the party proceeds to the point of reception, where over 100 guests are received by the Queen, the Lord Mayor and the Lady Mayoress in a floral setting which would have done justice to the Queen of any realm. All the magnificence and splendour of pre-war days was here at this first post-war carnival, as the guests, including many railway executives, members of Parliament, trade union leaders and other leading figures in public and social life, arrived for the reception. After a tasty glass or two of whatever they fancy, the cry rings out, luncheon is served, and the guests are ushered into a room which was, to say the least, a great credit to those responsible for the catering arrangements. Although Ministry of Food restrictions limited the cost of the meal to 2 and 3pence per head, satisfaction was expressed on all sides at the splendid quality, quantity and service which were so much in evidence. It was to a memorable assembly that the Lord Mayor rose to propose the toast of the King. The Lord Mayor, Alderman T.H. Adams, J.P., is himself a railwayman, the first ever to have been elected to the high civic office which he held at the time of these celebrations. He followed the proceedings with the keenness of a railwayman, and his services will not be forgotten by his fellow employees. He made no apology for the fact that he had been a staunch advocate of nationalisation of the railways, as he introduced the minister who would eventually be responsible for them, the Right Honourable Alfred Barnes, MP. Mr. Barnes mingled shafts of humour with his exposition of the principles on which the government scheme of nationalisation was based. Among those listening is Sir Francis Joseph, representing railway management. Outside, in the huge playground known as Belle Vue, the spirit of Carnival has taken hold of the thousands of visitors. There are contests and displays of every kind. Here is a group of competitors in the dance troupe contest, putting their best feet forward in an effort to win the blue ribbon of the dance troupe world, the Belle Vue Trophy. All around are the attractions for which this showground is famous, providing excitement, glamour, and interest. The denizens of the zoo, as always, form one of the biggest attractions, vying with the thrills and surprises of the rides and sideshows. And of course, there's always the elephant. As much as 100 years ago, our grandmothers were riding the elephant at Belle Vue, although not the same elephant, of course. And this is Nicholas the hippopotamus, who is rising 10 years old. In the background is the thrill of thrills, the famous Bob's coaster. And now comes the moment for which thousands of people have been waiting, the crowning of the Queen-elect and the farewell ceremony for the retiring Queen. It is an established ceremony, simple, dignified, impressive. It takes place on the huge stadium where thousands of people find covered accommodation, and the stands are full as always whenever a new railway queen is crowned. Greta Richards enters for the last time as railway queen. Following her in impressive grandeur is Janet Taylor of Leeds, who will shortly be taking her place. Janet is the daughter of a railway lorry driver. Yesterday, just an unknown girl in Leeds. Today, the mantle of Britain's railway queen falls upon her, together with all the traditional duties and obligations and opportunities which accompany the office. The Lord Mayor, with admirable sense of symmetry, places the crown fair and square for the first time of asking. The Queen is congratulated by the Right Honourable Alfred Barnes MP, the first of the many presentations she will be called upon to undertake during her 12-month tour of office. Once again, tradition is upheld as the Lord Mayor kisses Greta, the retiring Queen, goodbye. She has held office for 3 strenuous years, performing her duty for the Red Cross and St. John War Organization amid falling bombs and all the discomforts of the blackout. Through it all, she has never lost her smile. On the continent, in France, in all parts of Britain, she was known as the Smiling Queen, one of the best loved of all our railway queens. And she makes a typical smiling exit as she retires from the stadium, accompanied by the Edinburgh Railwaymen's Pipe Band. And now Janet, thrilled, excited, and perhaps a little nervous, supported by the flags of the United Nations, goes in procession to the King's Hall for the great final ceremony of the day. During her term of office, Greta Richards went to France and was presented with an emblem of peace by the United Nations Association. At this ceremony, she is to pass this on to Janet Taylor. Greta, who has been received by railwaymen's trade unions, by the World Federation of Trade Unions, by the directors and railwaymen of the French railways, and by UNESCO, is now greeted by the Lord Mayor as an ordinary citizen. She adorns her successor with the emblem of peace, a symbol that one of the foremost duties of the new Queen shall be to foster international brotherhood and further the cause of peace among men. The atmosphere is almost cathedral in its solemnity, and the crowded hall is silent as Janet is entrusted with this great mission. The pace of Carnival quickens as the evening wears on. The crowds make merry as befits the occasion, and to many thousands of visitors, the splendor of the augmented Belle Vue firework display is a fitting finish to a day filled with sights, sounds, and scenes that will never be forgotten.